Craig McRae may be the biggest reason for Collingwood's quick improvement on the field. Off the field, he has clearly created a culture and togetherness that may not be matched by any other club. His big smile, friendly relations with the media, and all-round appearance has also assisted Collingwood in the PR side of things too. Collingwood were the feel-good story of 2022. They had little to no expectation and ended up on a wild run to a 1-point prelim loss. Saying this 5 years ago would have seemed crazy, but it genuinely seemed most of the football world felt sorry and even disappointed the Magpies didn't reach the grand final. 2023 has lived up to the hype and Collingwood is a serious threat for the flag. McRae has created a seriously well-oiled machine that will fight until the end. McRae himself is a type of sheep in wolf's clothing. His happy-go-lucky attitude and all-round smiles hides the win-at-all-cost mentality and never-die-wondering mantle he has embedded and embraced with his players that has the Collingwood faithful all aboard. Craig McRae is a born winner. He was an important role player in the Brisbane three-peat of 2001 to 2003 before becoming a player development coach with Richmond in 2007. After stints at Brisbane and Collingwood as assistant, he returned to the Tigers during their 4-year golden run, coaching their VFL team to a close grand final loss in 2017 and a flag in 2019. He also won AFL Coaches Association Assistant of the Year and VFL Coach of the Year in 2019. The influence that his time at Richmond had is clear to see in the way Collingwood have played and operated from 2022 onwards. McRae arrived at Collingwood at the right time. Collingwood had reset their off-field setup with Eddie Maguire departing at the end of 2021, and the culture reset had been initiated by the 2021 Do Better report. The next year was supposed to be difficult for the Magpies, who were seen to be in a transition state, paying players like Adam Treloar, Jaden Stevenson and Tom Phillips to depart the club to clean up the salary cap. But it really was a complete clean slate for Craig McRae to begin with. His assistants in Brendan Bolton, Justin Lepich, Scott Selwood and Hayden Skipworth is as senior a coaching group as there is in the AFL. McRae made it clear from day one he wanted a high-octane, scoring team that moves the ball forward. His early statements created intense excitement about the new look Collingwood on the field. In 2022, Collingwood began 4-5 and was seen as moving in the right direction, but since then, the Magpie wave has nearly been unstoppable. Currently, the Magpies sit at the top of the AFL ladder, are the box office side of the competition and premiership favourites. McRae's style of quick, fast ball movement is electrifying the league, and at their best, Collingwood seem near unbeatable. The Richmond influence in these pies is evident in the wave running Collingwood often use. Its principles and basic premise is incredibly similar to the 2017 to 2020 Richmond dynasty. It's about strong transition and ball movement, using leg speed to burn the opposition team on turnover, getting good shots at goal and punishing them for their mistakes. It's a manic style of play, but an important note is the skill and speed Collingwood have. David King has described it as new age football, which it may be, but most teams have nowhere near the foot and hand skills of Collingwood. Scott Pendlebury, Josh Dacos, Steele Sidebottom, Tom Mitchell, Jack Crisp, DeGoey and of course Nick Dacos are all extremely skilled AFL players that can pull off this fast ball movement. Which AFL team wouldn't want to play like this? Every team would like to, but having the skilled players to do this is very difficult to find. Collingwood outnumber and spread from contest quick, getting the ball to the outside to try and create better opportunities for their forwards. Playing like this will cause some turnovers no matter what, due to the nature of the AFL. But Collingwood have the best defence in the competition too. Not only does their defence stop opposition scoring with a league best 9.3 goals allowed a game, but their 18 intercepts a game, which is third, helps them springboard out of defence, allowing them to create the wave run. Having Darcy Moore and Jeremy Howe to get the intercepts is one thing, but both are great kicks, and with run and gun John Noble, the offense from defence is exceptional. Quaynor and Maynard are the more traditional man-on-man defenders, but both have also shown pace and finesse coming out the half-back line. The wave running doesn't really require much of a clearance dominance, as last year the Pies were very poor in that aspect of the game. Their rebound from D50 and turnover score was the main way they put damage on the scoreboard. But recruiting Tom Mitchell and focusing on the midfield battle has allowed Collingwood to get a plus 0.7 clearance differential per game. It helps generate movement from stoppages with quick hands, but winning more clearance also can set their defenders high up the ground. Their forward line is the least flash aspect of the Pies, with dual rucks Cox and Cameron spending time there, with Myercheck being the team's key forward. Elliott is the wildcard matchup, and Beau McCreary and Bobby Hill are more than serviceable small forwards. But it's everything that happens up the field that makes Collingwood so damaging. Their psychological edge over the competition is even scarier than their play. 11 of 15 games they have won trailing at three-quarter time. It's an all-time great record that is haunting the other 17 teams. McRae has instilled this belief and fight that never ever stops. These are all games the Pies had no business winning. The Collywobbles are now with the opposition. The last quarter they get shaky, make poor choices, and so far have been overwhelmed by the black and white wave that doesn't stop. Fueled by a more manic Collingwood crowd who maybe have never been more invested with a group of players, it has created a serious football team that is as mentally tough as it is good at football. Perhaps the investment from the Pies supporters is most felt with Craig McRae. It's been his arrival that has sparked this run. Most of the key players under Nathan Buckley are still present, but the wit, football smarts and killer smile of McRae that is at the forefront of this Collingwood revival.